Most personal cybersecurity advice is a collection of reactive, ineffective rituals. Password complexity is a secondary defense that fails against modern brute force hardware. Public Wi-Fi networks act as transparent funnels for unencrypted data packets. Incognito modes do not mask your identity from internet service providers or web servers. Antivirus software often operates as a significant drain on system resources with minimal zero-day protection. The human element remains the primary vulnerability in 90% of successful data breaches. Biometric data, once compromised, cannot be reset like a standard alphanumeric string. Third-party tracking cookies create a persistent, invisible digital shadow of every transaction. How do high-value targets maintain total anonymity in a saturated surveillance state? The mechanism relies on the systematic decoupling of identity from hardware. A virtual private network is only as secure as the legal jurisdiction of its home office. Hardware security keys provide a physical barrier that no remote actor can bypass. Operating systems like Tails run entirely in temporary memory, leaving zero forensic traces. Encryption is a mathematical certainty that remains unbroken by current non-quantum computing. Metadata, the time, location, and size of a file, reveals more than the content itself. End-to-end encryption ensures that even the service provider cannot access the raw data. Phishing attacks succeed by exploiting the biological hardwiring of human urgency and fear. Social engineering is the art of convincing a user to voluntarily lower their own defenses. The immune person mentioned at 1 minute is the one who practices strict digital compartmentalization. This strategy involves using isolated environments for different categories of digital activity. High-level compartmentalization prevents a single breach from cascading into total identity theft. A burner device is a physical manifestation of this temporary, disposable identity. Browser fingerprinting identifies you based on your screen resolution and installed fonts. Regularly clearing your cache is a cosmetic fix for a structural privacy problem. Password managers do not prevent hacking. They prevent the reuse of compromised credentials. The unresolved mystery from the financial analysis was the velocity of money. In digital security, the equivalent is the velocity of data. How fast your information spreads. The 1-methylpiperazine of the digital world is the use of a non-attributable proxy. It effectively blinds the tracking algorithms by providing them with a generic, useless profile. Privacy is not about having something to hide, it is about having something to protect. The only one method for digital security is not a specific software or a complicated app. Complete digital sovereignty is achieved through the total minimization of your data footprint. You cannot lose what you do not store, and you cannot be tracked where you do not exist. Most apps request permissions that have zero relevance to their primary function. Granting microphone access to a flashlight application is a voluntary surrender of privacy. The system relies on your convenience being more valuable to you than your autonomy. Data is the new oil, and your behavior is the raw material being refined for profit. The 1-methylpiperazine produced by the immune person is a metaphor for total invisibility. If you cannot be seen by the sensor, the predator cannot initiate the strike. Both systems rely on creating a void where the biological or digital threat expects a target. Digital security is a continuous process of friction, not a one-time purchase. It is measured in the difficulty of access, not the presence of a fancy lock. The math behind the encryption is indifferent to the power of the entity trying to break it. Focus on the removal of your digital presence rather than the fortification of it. Everything else is just a false sense of security in an increasingly transparent world.